Good morning, guys. How are we doing this morning? Okay, we're gonna try.
It's Memorial Day weekend.
I know, you guys should be beautiful. Good morning, guys. How are we doing? Good.
Yeah,
there we go.
Wow, participation.
Oh, that was great. Yeah. All right. Well, I hope you guys are having a good morning here at the Columbus Zoo. You guys can hear me in the back. Can you turn me over? And yeah, welcome to the Animal Encounters Village. How many of you guys have been here before?
We got what?
Count one half.
Two.
Yeah, we have a worker about three. Okay, there we go. We have a couple. Well, in case you guys didn't know, we pretty much have the coolest job in the zoo. We get to walk around the zoo all day and bring around really cool animals for you guys to pet and take pictures with and do little encounters. And we get to get up on stage and teach you guys about some of the coolest animals that we have here in the zoo. And for our 11 o'clock show, we have our Reptiles presentation. And we have 4 really cool animals coming out today with a lot of really great adaptations that help them to survive. And Kendall here is going to get us started with actually my favorite animal that we have.
He's my favorite too. Out here today, we have Poppy. Now, can anyone in the audience maybe tell me what Poppy is? Because I forgot. Yeah, right over there. That's right, he is an alligator. Poppy here is our American alligator. He's only 2.5 years old. He just arrived here this summer. You guys may notice one of the most striking features of them are his really thick scales. They have really thick armor. Their scales are totally fused together. It's like a waterproof sheet. And that's how they stay nice and dry when they're on land, wet when they're in water. Now Poppy here, you guys may think that he might like to eat small children, but his favorite food is actually fish. Where they're native, especially in the southern reaches of the U.S., they will spend most of their time in the water, and they're very good. They can actually close their throats and when they eat, so that way they won't swallow any water. They also have simple adaptations, and their tail is really, really thick and narrow at the tip. That way it acts like a rudder, so they can swim real fast, or they can just kind of cruise along in the water. Down in the South U.S., they actually are a nuisance animal. You can actually find them all throughout parks, golf courses, even in backyards. So luckily here in Ohio, we don't have to worry about things like that, maybe a geese once in a while, but that's about it. They normally will reach 11 feet. So Poppy here, he is only 2.5 years old. They will grow about 1 foot a year. So he definitely has a lot of growing to do. Females will normally get right about 9 feet, males about 11 feet. So boys get just a little bit bigger. One thing you may notice is that some people might thought he was a crocodile. Crocodiles are not native to the U.S. except in very, very southern reaches of Florida near the Keys. There are only 2 types of alligators found anywhere in the world. You can find the American, which is Poppy here. South America, Central America is the most common places. And there's also the Chinese alligator. Those are the only 2 types. Everything else is usually a crocodile or a caiman or a different type of crocodilian is what they're called. Crocodiles tend to be a lot more aggressive than Poppy here, which is why we can hold them like this. And generally, the longer you handle them, the more adjusted they get. But he can still bite. They have lots of little teeth. And one way you can tell an alligator from a crocodile is alligators have only the top row of teeth showing. Crocodiles have both rows. So that's Poppy. He is our American alligator. And out next is a really big animal that you guys might enjoy.
He is another one that has a lot of armor used to protect him. Does anybody know what this is? A turtle. Oh, almost so close. In the back. What? Tortoise, that's right. Now, a lot of you guys might have mistaken it for a turtle because turtles and tortoises do look a lot alike. But there is one really big difference between a tortoise and a turtle. A tortoise lives its entire life on land, and a turtle spends a lot of its life in the water. And a tortoise is pretty much made like a giant elephant-like turtle. They're huge. Not all of them are huge, but this one is huge. And they have adaptations that help support their large body weight. For example, their feet. Have any of you seen an elephant's foot? Anybody seen an elephant's foot? Well, when you go by the elephants today, check out their feet because they're big and round and flat. And big, round, flat feet help spread out their body weight. It increases surface area and allows them to walk around a lot easier without putting a lot of pressure on their feet. Another really cool thing Lucky here has is a shell, which is great for protection. Now, where he comes from, there aren't really a whole lot of animals that would want to try and eat a big tortoise like this. But if there were something that would want to come up and try and eat him, he has this amazing, really tough shell made out of keratin. Now, keratin is the same thing that our hair and our fingernails are made out of, except his shell is a lot thicker than our fingernails are. It helps him out with really good protection, and he's a herbivore. Does anybody know what herbivore means? In the back? Yeah, it eats plants, lots and lots of vegetables. He loves his greens. They're really healthy for him. And he spends his entire day walking around looking for grasses and leafy vegetables to nom down on. But he has a beak instead of teeth. Now the beak is used to make really nice cuts on greens and grass, and helps him swallow down whole. Now he doesn't have teeth like us because he doesn't really need them. He's not eating large protein substances like meats or nuts or things like that. So he can just swallow greens down real easy without having any problem at all. Now, he's not really moving around a whole lot. He's a slow guy. He's a reptile, which means he's in endotherm. So he can't produce his own heat. So he has to sit out in the sun and bask, which is what he'd pretty much be doing just like this, just laying out there, letting the sun warm his body up so he has energy to digest his food. But he doesn't move around a lot, and a lot of people might think that might make a really cool pet, right? How many of you guys would like to have a big tortoise like Lucky as a pet? Yeah, I would too. He's a really cool guy. But they don't really make that good a pet. Since they only eat vegetables all day, every day, they have to eat all day, every day. So you have to feed him a lot. And he actually takes a lot of maintenance to keep his cage clean and to keep Lucky happy. And Lucky was actually someone's pet before we got him. And they decided that they couldn't really take care of him anymore, and they ended up letting him go. Now we found Lucky on the side of, I believe it was 36, 37, or some major highway here in Ohio, just walking around like, like it was his home or whatever. And he almost got hit by a car, but luckily, someone picked him up and brought him to us here at the Columbus Zoo so we can take care of him. But he's a really good example of, you need to make sure you do your research before you decide to want to get a really cool exotic pet.
That's right. Now out next, we here have JT. Now JT at first, he might look like a snake. JT is actually a skink. Now skink is just basically just a fancy word for a really big lizard. You can find skinks basically anywhere in the world. JT here, he's a shingleback skink. They normally get their name because they have the really, really thick kind of shingle-like armor scales that coat their back. And if a predator, maybe a bird or a dog, a dingo, maybe in Australia, if they want to eat that, they have to get through that really, really thick armor first. Another cool adaptation that JT has, when you guys might see when he comes around, you take a look at his tail. His tail is really, really, really thick. A lot thicker than what you think a lizard's tail should be. And that's actually because their tail can confuse predators. So if a bird sees them from above, if they see that really, really big tail, they might attack that thinking it's its head, but it's not. Just since JT is a lizard, he can regrow his tail just like any other one. And that way, so he might lose his tail, which kind of stinks for him, but he can grow it back and his real head is not even injured, so he can live another day. One thing you also may notice if you kind of pay attention to his watch, he has a really big blue tongue. Now there's lots of skinks that have blue tongues, and they think it acts like sunblock. So if it's really sunny, if their tongue was pink, it could actually get sunburned because it flicks out so much. That by it being a really dark purple color, they won't get sunburned, they can continue to smell, which is how they use the tongue. JT here, he normally likes to eat small bugs, he likes lots of vegetation, but they are so big that sometimes they will eat small mammals like small mice. He comes from eastern Australia, so that's why he has really, really thick scales and the really stubby arms. They like to climb and dig with those. So he's a lot of really cool adaptations that let him kind of thrive where he lives. And that there is JT, or shingleback skink.
All right, now before we bring out our last animal of the show, I need 4 really brave volunteers. You guys can't be scared of anything, especially things that are really big and really long. I saw your hand first, so come on up the stairs right over here, and we'll take you, and we'll take you, and, oh sure, you look really excited. We'll go ahead and take you. All right, you guys want to come around right over to the stairs here, and come right up onto the stage, and I need you to get in a line right about here. So like 4 of you in a row right here. Come down a little bit so I can see. Cool. All right, now, I need you guys to put your arms out like this. Yep, just like this. And we're gonna have our friend here, Drake, across do our hands. Now, does anybody know what this is? Anybody, just shout it out. What is it? It's a snake. It's a python, right? You guys are all right. It's a Colombian red-tailed boa constrictor. Now, these guys are one of the largest species of snakes in the world. And they're fantastic predators. They spend their entire lives on the ground or up in the short trees hunting for mice and birds and maybe other lizards. But they are one of the top predators in the rainforest. And, you know, they seem pretty cool, right? He seems pretty docile, but in the wild, they're not quite as relaxed as this guy is right here. He has a lot of really cool adaptations that make them one of the coolest predators ever. I love snakes. Now, the first thing we're going to talk about is their head. Now, boas have a couple really, really cool adaptations that make them good hunters. The first is they have little pits lining the side of their mouth, and a lot of people might look at that and not think anything of it. But these guys actually have heat sensor receptors on the top lip of their mouth. Now, their primary source of food are mammals or things that put out body heat. So they use those heat sensors to pick up on heat cues. So if a mouse is running around on the ground, even if it's pitch black out at night, they'll still be able to see the heat signatures and figure out where that mouse is so he can get it. The next thing is his mouth. You guys doing okay? Yeah, you doing good? All right, I'll make it quick. The next thing is their mouth. Now, if you look at Bernie's midsection, he's about yay big around. Well, the general rule about snakes is they can usually eat about twice their middle stomach. So something about this big is something that Bernie here would be able to eat. Now that seems like a really big piece of food, right? Do you think that'll fit in Bernie's mouth? Doesn't really look like it, huh? No, but Bernie has really, really cool jaw structure. Everybody, feel the bottom of your jaw. It's attached, right? You can't detach that. Yeah, it's pretty solid. Bernie's is not. He can actually unhinge his jaw muscle and expand his mouth to be able to swallow really, really big food. The snake is actually kind of elasticy. You can pull on it, go right down his throat without him even feeling anything, which is really, really cool. Another thing is he's a constrictor. Now there are two types of snakes. There are constrictors and there are venomous. Now venomous, they have really, really sharp fangs and they bite their prey to try and kill them so they can eat them without struggling. Constrictors, on the other hand, take a little different route. When they see something that they want to eat, they'll grab it and they'll give it a really, really big bear hug until it goes to sleep. And then he can eat it, which is really, really cool because, you know, he's a big guy, so he needs all that really, really big muscle to be able to take down his food. Well, I don't know what that was, but I hope you guys enjoyed our Reptile Show. If you guys stick around, we're going to be bringing all of our animals back out here for you guys to pet and take pictures with, even Bernie here. Everybody give a round of applause for our volunteers, great volunteers. And come back at 1 and 3, 5 o'clock. At 3 o'clock, we're going to have our cheetah and dog show, which is my favorite. So we have the only cheetahs in the zoo. So swing by and check that out. Have a good day, guys.
Thanks a lot, guys.